Welcome. Let's bring our hands to heart center and Anjali Mudra. Find your foundation on the earth by spreading your toes wide. Fan them out. Shift your weight slightly forward into all 10 toes. And then lifting your heels and then lowering them back down and kind of wiggle in like you're in sand, like you're trying to really root down into the earth. And from that rooting down, press into the earth, feel your crown rising up and noticing your side body narrowing. Gently close the eyes. Connect to the reason that you came to the mat today. And trust your practice to give you what you need. And a reminder that every time we come to the mat, we bring along others with us, so that we're not practicing only for ourselves. When we practice, it affects all of the energy, all the people around us. So we bring the whole world with us into our practice. Inhale, letting your arms reach up. Interlace your fingers and revolve your palms to face the sky. Maybe draw your elbows a little closer together. Plug the shoulders down slightly into the body. And just as much as you're reaching up through your crown and rooting down through your feet, see if you can elevate your chest just a little bit more, entering into a slight back bend. Keeping some firmness in the glutes and the quadriceps. And with your heart shifting towards the sky, both physically, energetically, and mentally, again, connect to the reason that you are in this practice. Let those hands come down underneath the chin. Keeping those fingers interlaced, placing the fingers underneath the chin. As you inhale, let your chin stay resting on the hands. Gently open up the chest. Feel that fanning out of the ribs. And on the exhalation, exhaling audibly through your mouth, squeezing your elbows together like they're resisting something. Notice the firming that is going on in your abdominal area. Do that 4 more times, please. Inhale, be gentle on the back of the neck. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth again. One more time, inhale, fan the elbows, spread the ribs. Exhale, navel to spine. Release the arms. Separate your feet hip width apart if they're not there already. Root the fingers down towards the floor like someone is gently pulling on the middle fingers, and center of the crown of the head reaching up. Firm Tadasana, the strength of your mountain. Begin to initiate Ujjayi Pranayam. Let this breath center your mind, invigorate your body. Right fingers stay down along the thighs. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. Sliding the right arm down the thigh. So don't just dump into the right side, body lift up and out of the hips and like you're reaching up and over. Gazing down to the floor on the right. Option, fingertips touch the head. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach up. Follow that left arm down with your eyes. And take that over to the other side. Right palm reaches up. On the in-breath, and exhale, reaching up and over to the other side, reaching up out of the pelvis. Slide the left fingers down the left side of the leg, gazing down to the floor on the left. Starting by opening and lengthening the side body. Press down into the feet. Inhale, reaching up. Follow those fingers down with your eyes. And release. Step your feet nice and wide on your mat. Let's bring the inner edges of the feet so they're somewhat parallel. The outer edges of the feet lining up with the narrow ends of your mat. Extend your arms out wide at shoulder height. Revolve your palms to face up and feel the chest slightly lift with that. So it's almost like you had suspenders and you're kind of gently lifting your chest. Rotate palms up. Belly continues to support. Glutes continue to support. Feeling a nice lengthening right from the armpits down through the center, the middle of the fingers. Doesn't look like much, but you'll be able to feel this lengthening and this energizing through the arms. Release your hands to encircle the waist. Draw the elbows together in the back body, hugging the belly into the spine. Exhale, folding forward over your long legs. Let's stop at halfway down. Notice where the weight is distributed in your feet, and if it's in your heels, shift some slightly to the front of your foot. Continue to draw the elbows towards each other, squeezing the shoulder blades towards the back body. Navel drawing up towards the sky. Today's practice is a practice focusing on twist motions, typically associated with detoxing. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Gently grip the tips of your fingers to the mat. Broaden across your shoulder blades. So the upper back is nice and broad, pelvic floor drawing in and up. At any time, of course, I'm a strong believer in props. You can always bring the floor to you by using props. Let's keep the left hand on the floor. I just need to scoot back so my hand stays on the mat. Left hand staying on the floor. Bring your right hand to encircle your right waist. Pivot your chest over to the right. Keep firmness in the thighs. Make sure you're not dumping into that bottom wrist. Instead, feel your legs and your side body muscles holding you here. Maybe gazing up past your right shoulder. Wrapping the right arm around the low back. Maybe it reaches for the left hip crease. Gaze back down to the floor. Take your right hand with you. Left hand on left hip. Rotate your chest to the sky. Again, checking out the placement, the weight distribution. Make sure it's not all dumping into the right wrist. Maybe the left fingers reach to that right inner thigh. Gazing down to the earth. Walk your hands more forward. So you're now in a wide downward facing dog. Draw the sitting bones up and back. Energize the arms. Imagine those arms as parallel and not bowing out. Once again, lifting your kneecaps with the strength of your quadriceps. Gazing in the space between your thighs, between your legs. And walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and pivot everything over to the right. Let your left heel rise up and draw your sitting bones down so that The right side of your hip is in line with your right knee, and the right knee is stacking over the right ankle. Lowering the left knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Soften the shoulders slightly. Soften the fingers slightly. Finding your breath. Staying in the experience of this moment. Let your fingers connect. Bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, and on the exhalation, rotate your torso to the right. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Draw your hands closer toward your chest. Gazing up towards the sky if that's available. Continue to let that right knee continue tracking towards the center of your right foot. Right shoulder blade drawing towards the left. Next 5 breaths, lengthening that left leg behind you, finding balance. And see if you can just rotate your chest a little bit more towards that right inner thigh. You'll notice that you'll feel invigorated after this practice. Lowering the left knee down to the floor. Plant your left hand underneath the left shoulder. Keep that right knee hugging in. Revolve again. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, wrap it around your low back once again. Peel the left knee off the floor. And revolve a little bit more. Keep hugging the right knee in. And this time, draw the left shoulder blade towards the right. Releasing that right hand down. Let's come back to that center with the inner edges of our feet parallel. Fingertips resting underneath the shoulders. And begin to walk over towards the left. Lowering the right knee down on the floor to begin. Check out the alignment of the left knee over the left ankle. Sweeping the arms and the hips forward, reaching up. Soften the shoulders slightly. Keep engagement through the pelvic floor. Fingertips to touch, bring them to heart center. And revolve the right elbow towards the outer left thigh. Now, if this is not available, you can stay right here, of course. And then draw the left knee again to track over the center of the left foot. Palms connect, revolve to the sky. Bring the hands closer towards your chest to invite a depth to your twist. Maybe add a new layer in by peeling the right knee off the floor, turning this into a balance pose. Finding your breath. Keep pressing the right thigh bone towards the sky and revolving the chest towards the left leg. Releasing the right knee down to the ground, releasing your hands. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Rotate the left shoulder blade towards the right. Extend the right arm up to the sky And wrapping it around your low back. You can keep your right knee low or bring it high again. Keep drawing that left inner thigh towards center line. Pressing out through the right heel. Magnetizing that right heel to the space behind it. Looking down to the ground. Plant the left hand, pivot back to that center starting point. Notice how you feel. We're not here to do, we're here to be. Be in this experience. Maybe bowing down a little bit further now. Perhaps the head finds the ground. Avoid rounding the back to get your head here. Only go as far as your body's able to. And inviting a strength through the quadriceps to feel a lengthening through the hamstrings. This is a nice preparatory pose for headstand, which we might get into a bit later today. Pressing the earth away, inhale, rising up. Walk your hands forward again, pivot over to the right. Lowering the left knee to the ground. Heel toe that right foot across your mat. Coming into pigeon pose. So if this is about as far as you get, no worries, draw your heel back. Slide your left leg back a lot. Square off the front of your hips. I like to keep my toes drawing towards my shin. You can always use a block underneath your hip. In this case, it might be your right hip. And on the exhalation, lengthening and lowering like a cat moving into a morning stretch, lowering down nice and slow, lengthening as you go. Enjoying this longer hold in pigeon, sometimes called sleeping swan. For some considered sort of torturous, but most recognize its benefits after practicing in a while. Stay here for a few more breaths in this slow flow practice. Slow flow doesn't necessarily mean easy. I like to slow things down to really get into the juice of the pose. To move with intention. To move mindfully. Yoga, that yoke, that union with yourself. On the inhale, lifting your chest slightly. Walk your left elbow to the outside, coming into a little bit more depth here. Maybe bring your hands again to prayer. So I'll just move around here so I'm not being so rude and recording this and not looking at you. So you're going to stay right where you are. So twisted pigeon. Another option is to bring that right hand around the low back and support the right shoulder with the left hand. This really intensifies the sensation through that right hip socket. Maybe intensification isn't what's needed today. Maybe you need to back off. Listen to you. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Let's release out of that. Bring your hands in front of you, squaring off your shoulders and your hips. Coming into proud pigeon. Taking good care of your back. If this aggravates, you come back down. You only come to that place that's appropriate for you. Maybe lifting the chest. Maybe peeling the left toes off the floor to reach for that left foot. And if you kind of rotate it around to look at the foot, see if you can just bring your chest a little bit more forward. Maybe the right hand takes that right foot, and if it kind of rotated in, see if you can bring it back in line. See if you can line everything up. I'm going to interlace my fingers and hold my ankle today. And you're using a little bit of contraction here. You're pressing the hand into, the leg into the hand, opening up slightly. Next option, drawing that left heel in a little bit closer. Maybe even a little bit closer. Maybe bringing that foot into the crease of your elbow. You get a really deep quadricep stretch here. This may be enough. You might want to venture further by interlacing your hands and coming into a new version of this pose, opening your chest. And release that out. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes. And let's move into downward facing dog for the first time today. Stepping your right foot up and back. And lowering it down. Take those feet a little bit wider, but not as wide as before. Maybe toward the outer edges of your mat, press your chest back in space. Gazing towards that space between your feet as you press the earth away with your hands. There's a freedom here in the neck and a consistent union with your breath. Feel free to maybe play a little bit with some side to side movements, very mindfully getting into the side aspect of the lower legs. And bring those feet back to a more traditional distance. And draw your left foot forward. Draw the left knee in towards that left wrist. So we just came into this side a little differently. Lower that right foot down to the floor. You can always heel toe. Sometimes it's easier to get into it this way than the way we did last time. So we've given you two options. Last time we started in a lunge and came into it. Check out the back foot, the 10 toenails reaching for the ground. If it's better for you to tuck your toes and press the heel back, that's a little bit more intense. You can practice that. Draw those left toes towards the left shin, protect that left knee, and start to almost very sensually walk your hands down to the depth of your pose. As you come into sleeping swan, sleeping pigeon, and trying to draw that front of that right hip down to the ground, leveling off that pelvis to some degree. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And riding your breath here. Let's turn this into our twist. Inhale, lifting up, bringing that right elbow towards the front of that left knee as you revolve down. It might be kind of like this. That's okay. You can stay where you were. Maybe bringing your hands into prayer, left elbow to the sky. It's pretty intense, so again, back off as necessary. Intense through the left hip. So if you got a lot of junk in your trunk, this I call our junk drawer, as many of you know. It might start to pour out. You might even have some emotional reactions right now, some release. It's okay. Beauty of practicing at home is you know that you're in a safe place to let things go. Let things pour out. Release what you no longer need. Don't hold on to it. Give it freedom. Say thank you and goodbye. Releasing the hands down. Place them underneath the shoulders. Walk your chest back up, coming into proud pigeon. And taking good care of your low back. If you need to, reduce the distance between your heel and your hip. Got a little bit of a... I haven't quite gotten used to this whole microphone thing. It's been a long time since I worked at a gym and I had to wear one. So again, level 1, you might stay here. You might stay down here. You might back off. Even using the word levels kind of, but I have to use some sort of semantic, some kind of words to explain. Let's begin to draw that right heel in towards the right glute, getting a deep stretch through that right quadricep. Maybe this is more what you need. Sweep the right arm up and around if this is available and take the right ankle. Notice how my chest opened up. I'm going to try and square it back to the front of the mat and bring my left hand to my left ankle as well. I'm going to interlace my fingers today. Draw that right heel back in line with the right hip and open up, pressing the foot into the hands. And that left outer edge of the foot is pressing down into the earth as well. Gently looking up. Next option, should you like to proceed, maybe draw that right heel in a little closer. Excuse me. Maybe bring that foot into the crease of the elbow. Noticing a really nice opening through that front of that right leg. Next option, left arm reaches around to take the fingers, interlacing them, and open the chest a little bit more. Breathing into the left ribs. Smiling. And come down and out nice and controlled. Come back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, pressing into the hands. Let that left leg rise up into a 3-legged dog on the way there. And then release it down. Take your feet to the outer edges of the mat again. And draw the sitting bones up and back. Press the earth away. Belly up towards the spine. Kneecaps lifting. Pelvic floor in and up. Soften the jaw. Notice all the sensations flooding the body, the strength you're building in your upper body, the length in the back of the body, the openness of the mind. Releasing your knees down to the floor. Keeping them nice and wide, about shoulder width apart. Draw the big toes towards each other and rest your sitting bones back towards your heels. You can use your hands to press your torso back and down. And then melt the forehead to the earth. Plant your forearms back on the ground in front of you. Pull the mat towards you. Take those knees back from the hips. Come down onto your forearms. If you have rings on, you might want to remove those. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders so that you could actually clasp your biceps and your triceps, and then interlace your hands. Peel your heels back in space, but keep your hips low. Press the forearms into the ground. Breathing here into forearm plank. Let's turn this into dolphin. Let your sitting bones come up and back. Your heels are not meant to come to the ground here, although that's the projection of them. And then let your shoulders come forward, heart towards the hands, and come back in space again. Exhaling back and inhale to draw forward. Keep some tone in your belly. Please do a few rounds on your own. So we're building upper body strength here, as well as toning up the abdominal muscles. Great preparatory pose for anyone that wants to start to learn how to do headstand pose. Because truly in a safe headstand, the head actually doesn't bear the weight. It's all the upper body, the abdomen, and the arms. I kind of cringe when I see people going into a headstand with all the weight on the neck. I don't teach that, but so we do this and we build our upper body strength in order to hold ourselves in headstand without a head. Let's lower the knees and draw the chest back. This time the knees are together. Let your body drape over those thighs and bring the arms alongside the body. Forehead doesn't meet the mat. Just use a block or a pillow. Draw the arms forward. Let your left hip come to the ground. And draw the right leg over and around. Let's extend that left leg forward. Keep that right ankle close to the outer edge of that left knee. And if you're kind of slumping here, get tall and proud. Left toes point to the sky. Chest open. Hugging that knee in, wrap the left elbow around, and then get tall again as you inhale. Exhale, continue to revolve from the base upwards, looking over the right shoulder. Right hand can gently touch the ground, but not in an effort to lean back. It's just a gentle touching. The idea here is to be dignified in the height of your torso. You can finish the twist out of the right corners of your eyes. And the idea, if you have any toxic energy inside of you, that you are wringing it out. Fresh, new prana coming in through the crown. Maybe even visualizing that as light. Take your gaze and look toward your toes. Take your left hand that is wrapped around that leg, bring it to the outer edge of your right foot. Begin to reach on the diagonal with that right leg. Take your right arm out behind you. Rest the sitting bones down. Draw the crown up. Take a look past your right fingers. Modification, bend the knee. Inhale, and on the exhalation, maybe twisting a little bit more, wringing out a little bit more. Bring that back arm forward, bend that front knee, that right knee. Plant one hand, the right hand on the outer edge of the right foot, left hand on the inner edge, and begin to reach the right toes up. Get tall again. Think about bringing your heart more forward, shoulder blades back and down the body. Bending into that right knee. And move a little bit more towards the center of my mat. Bending into that right knee, begin to rock your baby here. Again, this is one of those poses that you can repeat this video again and again to learn the progression. Maybe bring that leg a little closer as you keep lifting the chest up. Maybe the foot comes into the crease of the left arm. Marry that leg close to the chest. Some of you might know where we're going if you know this sequence from my classes. Well, and of course you know because I title it now. No big surprises when you come into class now because you get to see what it is. You get to take a little video tour before you proceed. So maybe staying there, maybe starting to bring that right knee over the right shoulder. Might look like this. You just work here then. You're gonna have to round your back a little bit to get that leg, and you're going to clamp that right shoulder down. Notice the activity here through my right foot. Bring that right palm flat on the ground, shifting weight forward. Both legs here are energized, pressing into the hands, and you're elevating into an arm balance. And then lowering down, hopefully a little bit more graceful than I did, and releasing that right leg forward and drawing the left ankle across the right knee. Inhale, get tall through the spine. Hug this left knee in with some intention so that left big toe stays on the ground. The activity through the legs here is really important, especially when you come into that arm balance. Let's hug that left knee in a little bit more, wrapping that right arm around the knee. Inhale, get tall, and exhale to revolve. Again, you can just gently touch the left fingers down. But if you're afraid you're going to lean back into it, you can wrap that arm around the low back to prevent that leaning. Pressing down through the sitting bones, inhale up through the center of your head, and exhale, revolving as you hug that knee in a little bit more. Take your gaze forward again. Take the right hand to the outer edge of the left foot and reaching your left foot away, left arm away. It's like you're reaching in 4 different directions, reaching through both feet evenly, reaching down through your pelvis, up through the crown of the head and back through that left arm. Think about getting tall and lifting out of the pelvis. Bring that back hand forward, bend that left knee. Take left hand to the outer edge of the left foot, right hand to the outer edge of the inner edge of that left foot. Extend the toe up, get tall again, look towards your toes, draw the shoulders down slightly, hug the lower belly in to assist with that lifting action. Right leg is active, right thigh bone pressing down. It's like you're always trying to reach in 2 directions, both down and up, connecting to both earth energy and sky. Now bending into that left knee, start to rock your baby here. So the baby is our hips. You're gonna love your hips right now. and progressing as you will. And whatever is available for you, maybe drawing that up a little bit more, maybe the foot comes into the crease of the elbow. Get tall as you hug in. This ankle isn't lazy, it's very strong. Your whole intention here is to reach up, to get tall, to feel enlivened. Is that a word? I think it is. Again, maybe staying here, maybe starting to move that left shoulder into that under part of the left knee. So you're going to come forward, wrap the left arm under, might look like this. Maybe bow down a little bit more, maybe bring that left leg up a little bit more, and then clamp that leg over that left shoulder. Left leg is really strong. Draw the left toes towards you, right hand under right shoulder. Energize both legs, reaching up and lowering down. That requires core strength as well. Releasing that left leg forward. Kind of scoot your sitting bones closer to your heels. Hold your invisible platter of water or wine or grape juice, whatever. Maybe coffee. If it's first thing in the morning, you're thinking, man, I really wish I had a coffee, but maybe you won't need one after this. And slowly to lower down. Let this really hollow out. Imagine that you're holding an orange underneath your chin, slowly to lower down. So you're feeling mostly abdominal muscles working here with less hip flexion muscles. And release the head to the ground. Release the arms, release the legs. Pause for a moment. Enjoy the benefits of that twist series. Because we've been brought into some pretty tight spots, we're going to reach the arms above the head. Reach the legs long. Coming into banana asana, walk your feet over to the right side of the mat. Maybe shift your hips a little bit more to the left. And then walk your arms over to the right. So you're on a bit of a C curve here with your spine. I'm going to take my left ankle and cross it over the right and then lengthen my legs, taking the bend out of my knees as much as possible, and soften the arms to the floor. Feel the breath moving into the left side body. Release that out. Come back to that starting point. Arms apart, legs apart. See if you can perceive that buzzing of aliveness in your being. A sense of feeling invigorated, rejuvenated, cleansed, and detoxed. Maybe even the mind feels a little bit lighter. Whatever was in there taking up space has somehow given you some space. Sweeping the arms above the head. Softening the arms onto the floor. Maybe your hips come slightly to the right, and then the right leg crossing over the left ankle and lengthen the inner edges of those legs. And being here as you breathe with awareness into the right side of your body. Releasing the arms. Release the legs. Draw the soles of your feet together, coming into reclined butterfly pose. Nice and broad across the chest, open palms to the sky. Palms being open, so you can even imagine light and energy entering into the palms from the cosmos, continuing to invigorate you with life-giving prana. Use your hands to assist your legs coming together. Place the ankles underneath the knees. Let your pelvis just neutralize here for a moment. Outer edges of your feet parallel with each other. Ankles underneath the knees. Bring your palms down on the floor along the side body. Walk your arms in nice and close. You notice your chest is already elevating here. Use a little bit of abdominal contraction. Inhale, lifting up, shift your hips up to the sky. There's a little bit of nutation going on here in your sacrum. It doesn't matter if you know what that means, it's okay. Now let your pelvis tilt up. Got some interesting things going on here in our spine. If your knees are bowing out, please bring some energy to your inner thighs. The back of the neck, of course, is free here. If you'd like to come into a little bit more, interlace your hands, walk your elbows closer together, shift your rib cage towards your chin. Press the arm bones down into the ground. Keep that energy, that magnetic sensation between your thighs with some action through your glutes. Maybe staying here, maybe drawing the right knee into the chest, pressing in more to your left foot, reach your right toe to the sky. Bending that knee, lowering down. Right foot firmly rooted, press into the right foot, draw left knee into the chest. Keep pressing down through the arm bones, left toes reach to the sky. So reaching up and pressing down through the arms at the same time. So reaching up through the left foot, reaching down through the arms. Draw the left knee in and lower down. Maybe staying here for a few breaths, maybe coming down. I'm going to give you another option. You can wrap your hands around your waist. Make sure your thumbs are also on the outside of your body so that if you fell down, you wouldn't break your thumbs. So you can stay here or maybe come into full bridge as you lengthen your legs. A deeper back bend. Oops, I'm kind of slipping here. My feet are actively pressing down to the floor. My hands are giving some support to my low back, but I'm not dropping into my wrists. There's more of an action of pressing my hips up and out of my wrists. And bending into the knees. Lower the hips down to the ground. Pause for a moment before you draw them into your chest. Just pause for a moment, let it stabilize. Now hug one knee in and the other. Get nice and tight here in a little ball. That's how you feel insulated from the external world. The sanctuary of your practice. If you'd like, draw a little closer, maybe wrap your elbows around your knees. Don't cross the ankles here though. Holding perhaps the elbows and squeezing it a little tighter. Completely turning inwards. Feel the humming of your breath. A sense of interiorization, pratyahara. And release down. Maintain that interiorization. Extend your legs out long. Revolve your palms to the sky. Walk your shoulder blades under. Maybe take up a little more space. Thank the practice for giving you what you need. Maybe not what you want, but definitely what you need. Thank yourself for unrolling your mat and being disciplined with your practice. Our practice on the mat continues to teach us and lead us off the mat. So it becomes yoga for life. For our guided relaxation today, we'll start with your right hand. Shift your awareness into the right hand. Relaxing the right thumb. Second, third, fourth, and fifth finger, all 5 fingers. Continue relaxing your body systematically through the right hand, the wrist, all the way up through the right arm. Down through the right side body. All the way down to the right toes, traveling down through the right leg. Down and down to all 5 toes, the big toe all the way to the small toe. Noticing the right side of the body relaxed. Now shift your awareness to the left side of your body, the left thumb, and systematically moving through the second, third, fourth, and fifth finger on the left hand. Left palm, continuing through the wrist, up through the arm, into the left shoulder, relaxing. Down through the left side body, the left hip, continuing into the left thigh and knee, the left lower leg, big toe, all the way to the small toe. Noticing the relaxation of the left side of the body now. Notice the relaxation of both the left and the right simultaneously. Now shift your awareness up to your neck. Relaxing all the muscles in the neck and the throat. the area of the jaw, the tongue, ears, relaxing the lips, the space between your nose and your upper lip. Relax your cheeks. All the muscles around the nose. The eyes. The eyebrows. Forehead. Temples and the scalp. The entire face, the whole circumference of the head is relaxed. Bringing your awareness to the crown. Feeling connected to the energy of the universe. Feeling alive in the vibration of your being. Feeling energized and whole. Perfect, just as you are. You may remain here for as long as you like. When you're ready, rolling over onto one side. I will bid you adieu, although you may stay right where you are. Thank you for showing up to practice. Thank you for practicing with me. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do so we can meet again. May you be well.